Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So we're just going to dive right into the topics, starting with Helldivers 2. We received a new trailer for this game today, the Helldivers 2 Automaton pre-order trailer for PS5 and PC. So pre-orders are now up for this game, and I'm happy to let you know that it's going to be a $40 game. They do also offer a $60 version that gives you a bunch of pre-order bonuses. They're calling it the Helldivers 2 Super Citizen Edition. I'm going to have a screenshot up right now that shows you everything you get if you decide to pre-order this version of the game. But the reason why I'm happy to let you know the game is $40 is because I think there was some concern with Helldivers 2 that it was going to be a full-priced $70 title, and I think most people would be in agreement that this game probably wouldn't do so well at a $70 price point. I think it would be a very, very tough sell. There's certainly some people who would pay for it at 70 bucks, but the fact that they're going with a $40 price point gives me a lot of confidence that this game is going to succeed, because I think that's the perfect price point for a title like this. Of course, some people are holding out hope that maybe it'll come to PlayStation Plus day one. That would certainly be interesting. It is a possibility. I don't think it's necessarily likely, but still, this is a game I'm very much looking forward to, and yeah, I think $40 is the sweet spot for this title. So let me know if it's a game you're planning on playing and if you're going to pre-order it. The next topic is a significant update on the Microsoft Activision deal that has been provisionally approved in the UK. This is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. Microsoft has almost cleared the final hurdle in its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, the only regulator holding the deal back from closing, has provisionally approved the merger following a number of remedies proposed by Microsoft. CMA had raised concerns about the nascent cloud market, which it felt that Microsoft would be able to monopolize if the merger went through. As a result, Microsoft sold Activision Blizzard's game streaming rights to Ubisoft. In contrast to the original deal, Microsoft will no longer control cloud gaming rights for Activision's content, so it would not be in a position to limit access to Activision's key content to its own cloud gaming service, or withhold those games from rivals, the CMA has concluded. The deal with Ubisoft also requires Microsoft to port Activision games to operating systems other than Windows and support game emulators when requested, addressing the other main shortcoming with the previous remedies package. Although the acquisition has not been approved by the US Federal Trade Commission, Microsoft can close the deal in October after a recent court ruling in its favor that denied the regulator's request for a preliminary injunction. So there we go. After all this time, we're about to see this finally come to an end. Microsoft cleared the biggest hurdle with the CMA, and they now have, their approval here. So I think it is safe to say we are likely going to see Microsoft announce that they're closing the Activision Blizzard deal in October. And regardless of how anybody feels about it, I do feel confident in saying that everybody will be happy to know that this is finally over. So what happens after that remains to be seen, but yeah, this has been a long time coming, so let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on to the next topic, we have a small update for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, again being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. Insomniac Games has shed some light on Marvel's Spider-Man 2's fall damage feature, which was recently discovered at a hands-on preview event. We wondered why fall damage wasn't mentioned in any of the recent previews until YouTuber Caboose mentioned it, and it turns out the feature wasn't turned on for anyone to notice. Spider-Man 2's senior programming director provided a statement to IGN confirming that fall damage has indeed been added to Spider-Man 2, but it's an optional feature that's turned off by default. That explains why Caboose only noticed it while he was messing around with the game's various settings. Something we're seeing more and more of is that players like to be able to customize their experience. For those players, we added the ability to enable fall damage. Fall damage is off by default, and even let people tweak how swinging feels with our swing steering assist setting. We hope players who enjoy a deep dive into the details have fun experimenting. So to me, this is not something that significant for Spider-Man 2. Again, the fall damage feature is going to be turned off by default, but it is interesting to think how turning that on could impact the overall gameplay experience. So I'm curious, is anybody here going to be turning this setting on and kind of adding, I guess, a little bit of realism to some extent with this game, or are you going to be keeping it off? Let me know down below. Moving on to the final set of topics for the video, we have some updates on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It says here that Square Enix has revealed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's install size, and if you don't have extended storage, you might want to wrap up some games by February. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth weighs a whopping 150 gigabytes, and the game is shipping with 2 discs. Director Naoki Hamaguchi told Game Informer that FF7 Rebirth's 150 gigabyte download will be split between 2 discs in such a way that players won't have to swap discs like they did while playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. One disc will hold 100 gigabytes of data, while the other will hold just 50 gigabytes of data. Thanks to the PS5's architecture, players will simply have to install the game using both discs, following which they only need to pop in one of the discs to actually play it. Hamaguchi says that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's size is a result of its development team's ambitious vision for the game. Apparently, Square Enix always wanted Rebirth to be heavily detailed and more immersive than Remake. This meant having to put the game on 2 discs because cramming everything into a single Blu-ray would have forced the development team to cut down some of the content. So, yeah, this game is going to be absolutely massive. I did just recently watch an extended preview of this game, and it's very impressive what this team is doing with this game and everything content-wise that they're packing into it. But to kind of speak to the sheer size of this game, I have another report here from WCCF Tech. They say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is looking more and more impressive with each new reveal, and some additional details on the world map that have been provided in a recent interview highlight the extreme amount of care the development team is putting into the game. Speaking with Press Start, director Naoki Hamaguchi talked about the world map, revealing that the team took the map of the original game and recreated it all in a 1-to-1 scale, meaning that all towns, dungeons, and other points of interest are now included in the same space as one seamless map. Elaborating further on how players will get to explore such a vast world, Hamaguchi said that while the world of the map will be available right from the start, the size of the world will actually grow as players make progress and learn new abilities that let them access previously unreachable areas. So yeah, this is an absolutely massive game, and I don't want to say that I'm surprised, but this to me is seemingly going to make Final Fantasy VII Rebirth stand out in a very significant way compared to Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think with Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was more about the team proving that they can do this right, and they obviously nailed it. And I think with this game, it's not about proving that they can do it right, but showing maybe what they can do differently, how they can kind of really make the game even more ambitious than people could have imagined. So yeah, everything we're hearing about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sounds very impressive. This game sounds like it's going to be one of the highlights of 2024 and potentially one of the highlights of this generation in general. So there you go. I wanted to give you guys that update. Let me know, first off, if you're planning on playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, if you're getting the disc version, so you're going to have 2 discs, or if you're going to get it digitally, and let me know what you think about how big the world map is going to be and how it's a 1-to-1 recreation from the original. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.